Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online. As you can see, I'm mining a little bit. That means we'll take a look at another dev blog today. So let's go over there. It's actually a very important dev blog. If I go over here, Building Better Worlds is the title of the dev blog, and it's all about the industry changes that are coming during the summer expansion. They're actually quite massive. The entire expansion is going to be centered quite heavily on industrial changes. In fact, it's so much that is going to change that they will need several more dev blogs to talk about everything they're planning. So we already had one about the reprocessing changes. Basically, they're going to reduce the amount you can get from reprocessing and make it so that the best reprocessing is going to happen in nullsec, and you'll take a little bit of a hit in highsec. But to compensate for that, we will actually be able to compress ore in our bosses in highsec, and that should actually help balance stuff out, because a lot of people do mine in the safety of highsec, but this should allow them to participate in some of the profits that come from exporting that to nullsec for better reprocessing. Next up, in this dev blog, they're talking a little bit about the changes to manufacturing. There's going to be a whole dev blog about the new UI, a whole blog about research changes, another one about job cost scaling. That's a pretty big one actually, and then one about teams. That's going to be some new workforce that's going to be used for industry jobs. So let's start up with some small stuff, cleaning up the market groups. So they're going to group different industrial materials into a more comprehensive way. Here is some of the graphics that they've already released. So this is just in the market tab to hopefully make stuff a little bit easier for people. I can already see here, for instance, in advanced components, they're actually also dividing them in the different empires wherever possible, so that should indeed help out a little bit. It's just some small improvements. EVE Online is such a complex game. It probably has 10 or 100 times more items than any other MMO out there, and so making the market tab comprehensive is not that easy, but they're going to give it a shot in this summer expansion with changes to industry. Another smaller one, at least for me personally, because I don't do that much research that uses robotic assembly modules or research databases, so RAM or RDBs, and it currently has a mechanic called damage per run that is going to go away. Instead, they're going to just put like a consuming aspect to this. That means that you don't have to worry about damage anymore, where you lose the entire item, but instead you will know right away this is the cost in order to do this research. I guess it is specific. Is it for researches or for production? It could be for Take 2 production. I'm not sure. I've never used this myself, but the example I think was the easiest way to understand this. An adaptive invulnerability field 2 blueprint currently requires 1 unit of RAM, so shield tech, per manufacturing job, with a damage per run of 60%. After the change, the adaptive invulnerability field 2 blueprint will now require 1 times 100 times 0.6, which is the percentage of damage, so 60 RAM. But the shield tech RAM will also produce 100 units of RAM from now on. So everything gets scaled up to 100. Then they're keeping the percentages. Goddamn pirate coming in while I'm busy. I'll take care of you quickly in the background. Come on, don't be idle. Yep, there we go. I'll have to go and quickly look at him. But yeah, with scaling up by 100 and then keeping the damage percentage, but just adding that to the cost, to the base cost, is how they're going to simplify the mechanic without losing that component. That means that there is actually a sink for these items. If you're worried about your current stacks of like RAM and RDBs, don't worry, all of these will be scaled up as well. And so here is that was the example. Okay. Another one, again a smaller change, is that the extra materials are going to be gone. With the changes to reprocessing, it's a lot easier for CCP to keep people from basically creating minerals by reprocessing items. And so one way they had to patch this in before was with extra materials. So at the moment on a blueprint you see an extra tab with extra materials. These materials, if you reprocess, for instance, the Vexor in this example, you don't get them back, and that was to be able to increase the cost of producing Vexors without giving players the opportunity with perfect skills, for instance, to create minerals out of building Vexors and then reprocessing them. So this is going to change. Instead, everything is just going to go in the materials tab. And this is thanks to the reprocessing changes from the previous dev blog. Now this is a pretty good one and a pretty big one. They are going to remove the slots on industry. So if I go over here, for instance, you can see all of my jobs are actually installed. That's both for the research jobs and for the manufacturing jobs, are all in slots inside the station. This is going to go away. And instead there will simply be a cost attached to your manufacturing and research jobs inside the station that is going to scale up. They're currently looking at the cost of 0 to 14% of the base item that you're producing. So yeah, that's quite significant, and it's actually going to force people to do their industry in a more spread out way, because at the moment, of course, industry is very highly concentrated around the trade hubs. It's the most efficient way, you know, you just produce the items and then you only need a few jumps to move them to a trade hub. And so this new mechanic is definitely going to force people to spread out and do their manufacturing in less busy space. And they're also going to make it so that it's actually more profitable, I think, we don't have any hard numbers yet, to do your manufacturing and your research in a POS. And so that's also pretty important one. They want to encourage people to set up a POS and to do their stuff there, so that it's a little bit at risk, but also make it so that you make a little bit more money that way, or you're more efficient that way, so that you would actually defend your POS. And asteroids are depleted, so let's look for a few other Veldspar asteroids here. Let's grab that. At the moment, you know, POSes, especially in HiSec, they're only used for, or almost only used for, research labs, because of the limited amount of slots that are available to do research in normal stations. Over here in busy HiSec, you can easily have to wait 30 days before your research job actually starts. Now with this new system, it's only going to cost money to do the research, but of course, in order to still make it attractive to actually do research and to do manufacturing in a POS, they're going to buff up let me see here, it was the research labs and the assembly arrays. Yep, here we go. Improve the mobile laboratories and the assembly arrays to compensate for the risk. We'll give final numbers soon. So that is going to be very important, yeah, making stuff and researching stuff inside the POS might just become more attractive compared to doing it in the safety of a station, where at the moment, you know, if you can do it in a station, people just do that as much as possible. Yeah, in the summer expansion, they definitely want people to move into star bases. In order to make this a little bit easier, they are also going to allow star bases to be anchored anywhere in HiSec without the standings requirement. Now this is going to mean a lot more POSes in HiSec. In fact, I think it's already been acknowledged in the comments that the problem of abandoned POSes in HiSec might need a separate solution. So maybe something, I mean, there are definitely a lot of good ideas already floating around, you know, like having an offline POS have way less hit points than what it does now. Maybe adding like a hacking mechanic with a timer before that takes place, or something like that. There's plenty of ways to solve this problem, and it's already been acknowledged. So maybe not in the summer expansion, but CCP is definitely going to keep an eye on people just putting up a POS and then abandoning it, just making this a little bit of a problem. Because yeah, having to shoot down a large POS in HiSec is quite some work. There's also going to be a new UI for industry, so this is the one that we get at the moment. And this should all come into one big window that is going to be have a lot more information to it, mean a lot less clicks to do your research and industry. So yeah, let's hope that they can make this into a good one. Sounds very interesting. And that's it for this devblog, but yeah, we've got several more coming with more details. I'm definitely looking forward to some hard numbers on the improvements to mobile labs and assembly arrays in bosses, because that could be very interesting. And yeah, with the summer expansion looking like an industry heavy expansion, yeah, this might just be something that the corporation is going to go for as well during the next summer. Anyways, that's it for this devblog, guys. Let's hope CCP can improve industry a little bit. It's definitely a very popular activity in EVE Online, also a very important one. So yeah, let's keep a close eye on this and hope that CCP doesn't screw it up. But so far, I think all of this looks pretty interesting, and none of it looks game breaking. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.